trust in me, and you will find. And time goes by so naturally while you receive infinity.
Okay, we're in for the second video here. Sorry about the acoustics. Not quite in my little studio, quote unquote. But feeling guided highly to put another reading out here. So here we go. So let's see the micro to macro here. We'll start off with the Guardian of Night. The first card that we get is the Eight of Swords, stress and anxiety, yeah. Okay, so I'm coming out just after the assassination attempt, right? So, it's interesting to me, if you listen to the last reading, I was talking about the youth and how they're prepping the youth, and how it was a young man who tried to assassinate Trump. So we'll see. If this is in line with all of that, or we're on a different wavelength altogether, I don't know. I'm just going with flow here. Eight of Swords. Now, we got 3 owls of wisdom, and it was interesting to me. They were incorporating the threes quite highly when I was shuffling. And that's about the Holy Trinity, right? So, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And, no, how do I express? Because they're showing me Trump acknowledging his son. And I did see a clip about this, so I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, they're infusing that Christ consciousness energy into. And hopefully this is all valid and true. To point of character that we're coming from. Okay, so Eight of Swords anyway, right? This would be about where we're sitting at now, or just recently here, having come out of the political mess that happened here. Stress and anxiety, things that keep us up at night, I guess, right? Eight of Swords. Now again, the 3 owls encompassing the moon here would symbolize to me that there's wisdom that can come up of things unknown. And the sense that I get here might even be the unknown of why this child did this. We went outward in this way. That will be the unknown. I think that will stay unknown. Right? It goes down with the ship is what they said. But nonetheless, wisdom will be gained here about other things no matter. So that's your first card, Eight of Swords, stress and anxiety. All makes sense in the big scheme of things here. The next card that we get is 14 Temperance. Yeah. And the needing to keep peace, needing to stay still. You know, don't let this erupt more violence out of retaliation, retribution. This kind of energy is really what I'm getting here. Now, frogs, a lot of times they stick out in my readings. Give me a moment here. Yeah, when to leap and how and why and under what circumstances. And again, being smart about this, because he's looking on my table. He's to the right of the Eight of Swords owls, right? And it's the fact that we're looking at the illusions here. And we want to be and make wise movement as we go forward. Strategy-wise, what I'm getting. It's interesting to me. There's a cup of love underneath the water here. They're making high accent of that and making that the Ace of Cups in my head. And the sense here is it's underwater and it's almost illusory to this frog, whoever that's supposed to symbolize. Now, give me a moment. This frog, whoever this is, they are very smart and they know how to strategize, okay? I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. But the sense here that they're giving me is that love is an illusion to them. Meaning love is not something that we make decisions from. It's clearly strategic. And not only that, at this point, I feel like this person is... give me a moment here. They're highly charged. This is where they thrive in things like this, okay? So this is where they make the best decisions because high stress, high anxiety, whatnot. We're still feeling it on a certain level, but it is disregarded. The emotions are below the surface here. So we have a high propensity to use our logic way above our emotional states, which, right, if you're strategic, that can help you in many scenarios. Maybe not on the personal end so much, right, when we're dealing with the heart, but in certain ways it can get you above things, okay? Okay, let's just keep it at that. So temperance is about making the right decisions at the right time and with the right frequency, keeping balance, keeping peace, and being, keeping things sane and whatnot. And yeah, I'm going to back away from that one particular scenario. But the sense here is there's an energy field of someone having to make strategic decisions. Not only are they born and raised for this, but they thrive in this, where other people, scatter for fear or whatnot. This is not the case with this person. Again, they recognize the anxiety, but they have a high sense of victory throughout their whole life dealing with these types of scenarios. So they're in their element, is what I'm trying to say. So the next card, and again, this is in the present, this temperance card, this frog, that is focused on illusions of the past. Now, as we move into the future, we get the Three of Wands. I get a light energy here. The moon is in every single card, right? The Eight of Swords, it's almost like a moon nest. You could make that anything, but it's a crescent and then two full moons. The Three of Wands is about looking to the future, where we see everything clearly. I feel our past was muddled with whoever this is for. Our past was muddled with confusion, illusions, and whatnot. And I feel like we are not only physically rising above this, but mentally and emotionally. Emotions are low on the totem pole of this person's, things I gotta conquer. But they are going to see around them a sense of caring and love that they have not seen before or may not even understand today. Three of Wands is about making decisions and looking forward to things in that way. There may be a time of waiting here as well. But there's also a time to take out. Again, I feel like this person is very much in the way of, I'm going to know when. They're very confident in the fact that I'm going to know when I need to act, and I will act when that is. And at this point, or even in the near future, I'm just going to lay low. But by low does not by any means mean that they do not accomplish things or go about their business. It just means I'm not going to be aggressive and I'm not going to be competitive at this time. I am just going to relax into an easy flow here. I'm going to continue to be who I am, but I'm going to, relax into things a little bit. There's a sense of security in the future. Now, give me a moment. Yeah, the moon is still here is what they said. So we got to be careful about false sense of securities that we may carry. But I do feel this person is nonetheless looking to their past to conquer anything in that way that might have left them feeling insecure. If that makes sense. Okay. The Eight of Swords on top of that to clarify. What do we get for energy there? Chaos. Okay. Yeah, chaos ensued here in our immediate past. And this is what brought about some illusions, right? It was a chaotic situation that come about. Yeah, okay. We'll just leave that. That's pretty obvious. On top of the Temperance, the now. What is happening now? What are we expanding on now? As we go on top of the Temperance, belonging, House of Night. This card can be about not feeling in the right place at the right time, but it can also be about realizing where we fit and where we don't. And that's the sense they're giving me, is this incident may have clarified exactly where we need to be at what point here. It's a sense I get. There may have, okay, some of the solution was tied up in this person who's strategizing. In the past, before all of this chaos, if we can label it as such, they may not have understood exactly where they were needed, but now that has shifted. That puzzle piece, as soaked into the rest of its surroundings, and it's locked into place. That's what they're showing me. A puzzle piece is locked in place. Not only now do I know where I am sorely needed, but I know more doors are going to open for me in the way that I'm going to be able to take action on this need that I wasn't aware of in the past. This is what I'm getting. This belonging card can be a very dark card, but I feel like the darkness is lifted. I feel like this chaos came forth. Now we know. Boom, there it is. There's our opponent. Now we can strategize how to deal with that. It's kind of what I'm getting, an unveiling of an enemy in a way. I feel like the moon is lifted into the day. There was chaos as we figured out what was going on. But now we're more prepared to strategize. And again, we may not be taking immediate action. And in fact, we will be guided away from this in the near future. But we more clearly in our mind know, the lanes as to a plan of attack here. Okay. As we go into the Three of Wands, again, this can be a card of waiting. We have one bird sitting here just kind of chilling. And we have another one taking action with a wand itself. That's about choosing a direction to go in. We may wait until the time is right to go down that lane. And when we go, we will have our wand and we will know exactly what is needed to be done. And I feel like we may have had a lot of chaos happen here, but boy did it fine-tune our ability to know what and when to deal with things and how. In a sense, I get that feeling, like a veil's been lifted, and where we were an illusion before, we are no longer. Boom, there it is. It's right there in front of us, and to a certain degree, an enemy, or how do you say, like a ghost, once it shows itself, then you know what you're dealing with. It's most scary when you don't know the form or shape that it could take. I was just watching a show yesterday while I was cooking supper. And it was one of those ghost hunting shows. And I was laughing because a lot of these ghost hunters are just going about it all wrong. But anyway, a whole bunch of them in there. And they're all going through this house and they find a secret passageway. So they're like, this is a dreamer's, like ghost hunter's dream, is to find a passageway to go in and look at an area that's barred off from the rest of the house. So it was through a cupboard or something. They all climbed in there, got up in there, and suddenly, right, the energy, there's a lot of energy. Things were getting thrown at them and knocking, and it was uncanny. The footsteps, how close and fast and quick they were coming, and they were all getting freaked out, right? Because it's energy. They can't see it, right? But if it were to show itself, then you would, in a sense, you wouldn't be in as much fear, logically, right? Certain people, they just freak out no matter. But But you could control your fear if you know what you're dealing with. You could see what your opponent is. And this is the sense I get. What suddenly we're seeing what it is. Okay, there it is. Boom. Okay, now we can strategize. Okay, so you got an old war criminal or something tied to this house. Suddenly you see a woman, man, child, whatever. Then you can deal with it. Then you can strategize. But when things are coming out of the air and there's footprints, you have no voice, nothing to go by. There's more fear because you don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know how to deal. This is kind of the sense that I'm getting. Too funny. And I remember thinking yesterday, I remember thinking, why am I watching these goofy shows? Like, I know better than this. Like, these guys, they're doing it all wrong. Like, I just shake my head. Because not only are they not getting to the heart of things, but they go in there and agitate stuff and then leave. It just makes no sense, So I was just shaking my head. But again, it's kind of like background noise while you're, getting things ready for supper. So I just found that. That's how it's correlating here. It's giving me background. This is the background. Because things are flying out of the air, literally, right? But we don't know where they're coming from. Now we're going to know. And it may even be the investigation into the background of who's coming at us, right? This kind of thing. Okay. So, not only will we have a good strategy and be able to take our time going forward here, because I feel a sense of relaxation of this. I feel like this belonging, it's like, oh, okay, now I know what it is. And we could have made in our head this to be such an extravagant thing that it's not even half as bad as what we thought it would have been. This kind of thing. We're starting to realize this. But this chaos had to come in order to make us aware of this. Everything happening for a reason, this kind of thing. 3 of Wands on top of there. Again, the idea of holding off, being able to wait for something to come in. And when it comes in, we're going to take action is really what I get from this card. Like with the bird in flight, with the wand, like that's all about action, man. Like I will wait until I am guided to take action. And when I do, I will. And it will be swift and fast and whatnot. And it will be well on the way to the road that I want to take here. So on top of that 3 of Wands, the wisdom card, is the Grove. Okay. There come the illusions again. Give me a moment. This cat is in healing type energy. The Grove is a place to sit and relax and I wouldn't say meditate because there's a different meditation card, but this is where we're kind of in complexity in our mind and taking time out to figure things out. Okay? Makes sense. And also, always aware that this is a cement bench that this cat is sitting on, and underneath the bench is this slithering, huge, like, I don't know, reptile thing, snake, that could come out and bite you, but it's part of the cement. It doesn't move. It's an illusion. It's just a picture. It's not a reality. And the sense I always, whenever this card comes up, it's always like, there's perceived threats out there that aren't real. So we may actually figure certain things out on a physical level and go, okay, phew, that was, but then it may also spark an energy of, okay, now we're building up an anxiety again about things that aren't true. So we could be on a bit of a roller coaster ride having to do with who and what we belong to and what we feel. Because the sense they're giving me is, where do I belong? And now we're going to be a little more suspicious, a little more da-da-da, right? Some of it is going to be logical. Okay, this, I got to be aware of this. But some of it is going to be illogical, is the sense that I get. And that's coming in the future. And we got to be aware of that energy. We got to be grounded because, yeah. It can create more chaos in the future. And we want to diminish that as much as possible. The peace and the serenity are needed highly here. So whatever it is that creates this for you, if you resonate with this energy in any shape or form, you don't have to be the politician in charge here. You can be any person in any scenario where this makes sense. Okay? the sense is we could get caught up in illusions. So keep things simple. Keep it to what a need-to-know basis is what I'm getting here. That was what they said. And also, use your heart to discern. Now, this person is not, their heart center. Though on the earth here, we are trying to rise the heart center into our higher heart center of compassion and whatnot. This person has skills yet to learn in this department. So therefore, making higher heart decisions, that's why they're going to get tripped up in the future again here. I don't want to say again, but I want to say they're going to get tripped up in the future, making decisions based on logic only, without including their heart. At this time, though, I feel it does serve them to remove the heart center and go with the logic. I feel that is a very smart move. But in the future, we're going to have to infuse our compassion back in and start making decisions based on this. And there will be personal accounts and lessons having to do with this of the closest nature. Meaning, if you're a family person, it will be people in your family will start to bring you lessons having to do with your higher heart. They will start to be guided to bring you to recognize that in your heart, which needs to be expressed or needs to be infused or worked on or whatnot. That will come to be in your inner circle. Those people that are highly trusted. If there's a question mark, you disregard. You go with that which is of a secure nature only. So that would be friends, family, even offspring. I feel that to the highest degree, the offspring. Do not disregard the youth simply for their age, okay? Yeah, is a contradictory to the last reading, basically. So, before I get convoluted here, we'll get into the third row. We're bringing in the, what is it? The pulp deck. Yeah. And then we'll get into the Angelarium cards. So, as we move into the pulp deck, here we go. Chaos, right? Eight of Swords, stress and anxiety, chaos in the past. What do we get for the card there? The Ace of Wands. Yeah, a strike. Somebody took action here to go in a way that they felt motivated, that created chaos for us. It's interesting, they're making me aware of that mount in the background, way in the back. It's like a rock mount coming out of like a plane. And the sense is we can overcome, like, because the mountain in the Lenormand deck is about challenges and things that we overcome. I feel highly this is something that not only we will overcome, but it will open doors for us and it will make us stronger, right? Of course. Whenever you overcome a challenge, it just does that in certain ways. You become stronger. Okay, that was the meaning and purpose of this. It's to make us stronger and in more of a reserve, a gentle reserve though as well. Being able to be humble, this is all into account here. Okay, so as we move into the present, again, the Temperance card, a need to keep peace and to lay low, so to speak, at this time. Though laying low doesn't mean that we're not to accomplish things. Just means that we will not go out aggressively as pre-planned before this incident, okay? Because there's a sense of change of plans here. Like we had a certain agenda here that we're going from, and now that we had this chaos, suddenly now we got to reroute. Okay, there's certain things we gotta get rid of here. We can't go forward in these certain ways because of this. I also feel from this belonging card in the House of Night, right? A sense of understanding the light and dark here, highly. We understand the strategies, and not only because of what just happened here do we understand more clearly, but it has rerouted us to re-strategize, and we'll simply leave it there. Now, the pulp card on top of that is the Knight of Swords. Yeah, and this guy goes forward frantically, eliminating those in the way and bringing people in, because you know, when you have a scenario, right? certain, life-changing moments. They're showing me, like, in your life, maybe, just give me a minute to snap that in. Yeah, you have moments in your life, and they're showing me, like, things that we're proud of, like graduations and weddings and things like that, where you have people by your side, you feel very proud to have them by your side, and you feel very good. There's a bond there. There's a reason that they're there. They're not there because they're undeserving. They're there because they're proud of you and they're happy for you, for your highest good. You feel this. I feel like this scenario has made us aware of who's in and who's out, really, is what it is. Okay, you're out. And we're going to re-strategize for that as well. Knight of Swords, he makes cuts, and he, again, from his logic, right? And this is very much where we need to be at this time. I feel that it's not like they're not saying, oh, consider, no, they're going, yes, we do need to consider our logic here, and we need to come from it highly. And this is, there's no doubt in this person's mind, this is the way they're going. So, as unchangeable as it may be, we are going in the right way. Though, in the future, we will be asked to infuse our heart a little more, because we are now stepping up and we're clearing away the clutter, the riffraff, getting rid of them. So now we can go back in and reorganize this new clan, and guess what? These guys, they're for my highest good, so I can open my heart a little more, I can be more compassionate, we can get down to deeper issues. This is what. Okay? And this Knight of Swords, he's the one that comes in and changes all the shit. He gets stuff rolling. And he don't take no guff. I mean, that's the high school. No guff here means like no back talk and no. And if you got a problem with the way I'm going, then you're not along with me. This kind of thing. And I don't feel we're gonna have a problem here. I feel like the universe. Not only are we following guided universal energy, but those that we are cutting away from our path are also going to follow that guidance, which is, I don't belong here and I need to be removed. And they knew that long before this come to be, but now it's just more obvious. And I feel like not only are we going to be saying, okay, you need to go and you need to go, like you're fired, but they're going to go, yeah, I quit. I'm done. Like, they're going to be in agreement, so to speak. They may do it in an argumentative way, but they're going to be in agreement. So it's all a separating of the waters here. Yeah, this is meant to be, is the sense that I get. All of this energy was to create this point here where we suddenly see from a higher perspective who's in and who's out. That's what I get. You're in, you're out. That kind of thing. At this point, yeah, this is what is needed. Okay, so as we go into the future, and again, this is not heavy into the future, not 6 months. This is just the immediate future. Can be up to 3 months. 3 of Wands, again, the sense of waiting a little bit, but knowing that the time is coming here. My ships are coming in, and when they come in, I'm going to take those orders and I'm going to run with them. And that's the sense. And the universe can't be too pre-planned here either. Is the sense we can't get too many futuristic nods before we really got to be in the immediate now. We got to be in the present and feel our way through here instinctively. So on top of the Grove, again, taking time to kind of look over things. I think we're going to be a little more confused in the future about who to trust and whatnot. But we are leveling up here. We are taking a step forward in a proper manner, and most of our guts are in a line with that, but again, there's doubt because of the chaos that happened in the past. The Pulp card on top of that is the Star, what you know. So, the Grove can also be about taking yourself out of things in order to heal thyself. And if that is the case, the Star is highly aspected here to say that we will heal and we'll come back stronger. And not only that, we'll have a new, renewed sense of hope and faith in the future. 17 is a card of Aquarius. 7-1 is 8. There's infinite energy here and potential to go in any way that we really want to, as long as the right path is followed. They are telling me to give you a heads up that if we go along the right path, it will not go very far at all before there are explosions. Meaning, if we decide to take action in the future, in the immediate future here, on a certain direction, and it blows up in our face, so to speak, then you know that there's no validity in this direction. Because I feel like there's a sense of going about things in a certain way. I don't know that it's two roads originally, but they're showing me the two of wands, which means you pick a lane. We got to go down this road or this road. And usually we're leaning more towards one road in the two of wands. It's like we're going down a certain road, whether it's dark or light. How are you going to find out? Well, it's highly aspected that you are guided to go in the correct way. So if you don't, your instinct will be screaming. So the only thing that can make you overflow that instinct, means make you disregard that, is if we are going too quickly, which I do not see here because we have the Three of Wands, which is about, looking to the future, waiting on the shore for that ship to come to us. And it's highly, it's just not in the path here to make the wrong decision. But again, if we are going quickly in our, if we get aggressive or we get in our anger, where we're not in our logic, or we're overly emotional, in the future it could trip us up. So beware to be able to, and I feel like this person has a high ability to disregard the emotions when needed. And again, they need a lot more emotional experience that frankly, I don't know in their path in this lifetime if that's going to come through. There's going to be bits of it in the future that's going to come within the surroundings. But the fact that we don't trust a lot of people outside our inner circle in certain ways, it doesn't bode well for getting that highly ascendant heart center, because we're just used to it being, you may even be an air sign yourself, is the sense that I'm getting, because airs deal with that. They'll look at the heart, and they can actually, some of them can invest highly in the heart, but they always bounce back to the logic. It's their nature to be in logical sense. I cannot go against my logic. That is the one thing that the barometers 10 all the time on these guys. Not Aries. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. These are the ones that, I gotta bounce into my logic. It just feels so unnatural to come from just emotion alone. But this person is going to be guided to bring their heart more into things. How that goes is up to them. Now, we're going to get into the Angelarium card. So, a good road here of making a right decision. Not only that, some healing that may be needed for ourselves is the sense. We are going to take a break here. We are going to let things be, is the sense. And highly guided to do so as well. And because of this, not only will it create healing for us, but it will create a healing energy, bringing us out of this chaos better, or bringing out of chaos in a way that is settling, that is more grounded, that is more natural flow, organic flow. This is what I feel like this energy is leading to. So, Angelarium cards, what do we get here? I was guided to bring another one in. So, we have the Angel of Divination, what you know. So, we're in it right now, because that's what they're saying. They're going, this is part of it. Seeking that which is unseen, right? Or utilizing that which is unseen. And that is the cube of Metatron. And Metatron was... The phrase they keep bringing back is Metatron was an angel that had experience on Earth, and therefore you can go back up there with the the energy of knowing the density here. Some angels, they have such a high frequency, they have no idea what it's like to be on earth, how many veils are put upon you when you transverse from there to here. It's heavy, heavy energy you got to go through. So they're kind of light and airy, and they go, well, just do this and just do that. And they expect you to do that because that's what they do. But when we're talking about Metatron, he knows the density. He knows what needs to be got through in order to accomplish things in the angelic realm. So he deals, he deals with me. He's my dude that oversees my readings highly. He is the one that helps heal me from heavy energies on the earth. So this is all here, and this may all be with this person as well as they heal from the stars, right? That sense of revivement, because there's just something you can't translate from the angelic realms to the physical realms. You can't translate unless you've been there. And this is guidance from those who know how heavy it can get. So there's an awareness of this, and there's an attunement to this, and there's also an attunement to that person in the physical. They're going to be released from the heaviness of this. And that may be part of that lightness I feel in the Three of Wands, is looking to our future and feeling a bright future and investing in that emotionally. The Grove brings us back down to that heavy feeling and going, okay, where's this coming from? Kind of dissecting it and inspecting it and autopsying it. That is needed to be done. Now, on top of the Grove energy, the star, it says once we do this, once we dissect things, then we will understand more clearly the heaviness here. Okay, so that was very much on the future, I feel. And then, the other one, the past. Okay, so a very groovy card, and to me, it symbolized clarity of thought. Though we may get muddled by certain things, we are in our logic making the right decisions. As we go forward, we may get a little bit of interruptions from the darkness here, but we are so highly guided and so being cleansed on the daily by, people like Metatron or angels or guides, whatever, like Metatron, who understand what it is to be on the physical earth. So we're not dealing in an angelic realm that is so far gone that they don't understand the translation factors here. This is here. Okay, so the second Angelarium card that we get, that they say is to deal with the past, having to do with all this chaos. We get Hod, left leg, and submission. Yeah, somebody submitted to someone else's wishes. And there's going to be a greater understanding of this as time goes on here. Yeah. Divine guidance, we're not beyond that. We're not beyond divine guidance, but we're also not beyond divine intervention here. Which, a lot of people are going to be throwing that word around. This is highly linked to the last reading, even though I had to review the last reading, The Underground, Season 1. I'm going, Episode 1. There's a very overhead projectile kind of view, and now we're getting more into specifics, and because of this we're understanding more clearly the grand meaning of the youth and manipulating youth and getting them to do things without question. This is so the submission. Somebody submitted. They didn't use their sovereignty to make up their mind. They may not have had a mind to make up. They may have been, manipulated of mind, is what they said. So, give me a moment here to look to these two energies. Yeah, because right away when I see that cube, I think of Metatron, but they're saying the angel of divination. And when we're talking about divination, that means translating universal energies into physical things that can manifest. And yeah, it's weird because when we have the angel of divination, we have the light coming from below, right? And then when we have the submission card, the light is coming from above, symbolizing that person was below the light of Christ consciousness, God, of the right way. They didn't know the right way. Though they knew what's right and wrong, shooting someone is not right. They knew that. But they didn't know that they're being led by darkness. Unfortunately. Manipulation, whatnot. So the angel of divination is here in our future. In the past, there's people we're becoming aware of submitting to dark energies. And I feel like this is just going to give us a clear path as to where we need to focus our attention in the future. And I feel we're going to be highly guided as to when to act promptly on this. And I feel also that we may have a time of confusion before we ourselves heal. And there may even be an incident here coming in the future where that shows up in the physical body as a explosion of energy where we physically need to heal from some kind of a debilitation. And I'm talking health within the self. It's kind of like they're showing me, we have a problem area here. We've always had a problem area here. It will erupt in order to make us see more clearly. It may have to do with the heart center itself, meaning, the power center of the physical body. But the star says we will overcome. And not only that, we will be guided highly in order to do so. And if we follow this guidance and go outward in a grand, good way toward others, and again, hold our temperance, this is all in a good way. I feel like a switch has been pulled here. Like I feel like if there was an ability to go down the wrong road, that door is now shut off. Shut down. Just no more. No more. And unfortunately, some bad things have to happen in order for those doors to close and other doors to open. And whenever one closes, right, there's always 2 or 3 that open. Especially when it's a negative. When one negative closes, we got 3 good ones that open. This is a sense they're giving me. Or in this specific scenario, right? Maybe. We could not have opened these doors before this scenario. We will be opening doors after, and this is the way it's meant to be. And in a sense, it's fate, and in a sense, it's the wheel of fortune, and in a sense, it is correctly lining us up where we can no longer make any mistakes, because any mistake options are off the table. Now it is all the positive roads that we can take. And as we go down this road and fine tune it, it'll be more positive, more positive, more positive, more positive, if that makes sense. So wow, that was an interesting reading. And though I was kind of focusing it in one particular direction, we'll see where the next one takes us. Because there's a sense of, in the moment, cutting and picking and choosing that which is of our solid state of being. It's those people around us. Again, when you're talking about humanity as a whole, it is creating barriers against those who do us harm. That is it. Once we do that and recognize that, go from our gut there, then it will be in more free-flowing energy in the future to realize, okay, this is my inner circle, right? These are people that don't do me harm. We're going to go forward in this way, blah, blah, blah. So that is the second session, episode 2 for the Underground Railroad. It's not so underground, this reading. Again, I'm attributing it to something. It could be more obvious going in a different way, or attributing to a different person in the future. But nonetheless, because there's always a sense of, I'm talking or I'm thinking in a certain way in my human mind. But when they give that reading, it could adapt to many things. Many things. And it's amazing how many they could adapt. And when you were thinking one thing in your mind, but then when the future comes and you relay this and you go, oh, your gut sinks in and go, that's where it's meant to be. There. It could be that as well. It could be something you think is obvious now in the past, but it may be something else in the future. Nonetheless, chaos was here in our past to create more strength so that we go forward with more fervor. There's a submissive energy in the past that will no longer be. And anybody around us that was submissive to us, or anyone else that was not for our highest good, they are being removed. We're creating barriers against those. And not only are we being highly guided in the future, but if our health starts to decline, we will quickly be led to understand the correlation there is the sense. That may come from our guides or people around us that know in the way. Because a lot of times, and again, I'm going to refer to her book, Louise Hay, How to Heal Your Life, How to Heal Your Body. There's correlations as to what is wrong in our life, even if we're in denial. There are things that are there. There's physical eruptions, physical areas of the body that, generate problems due to certain things. And usually when it comes down to the health of somebody, and these places starting to break or to have problems or to clog up, these are all areas that have to do with how we are relating in our life to others and humanity and whatnot. So there's your second session. For the underground readings, take care, have fun, and be kind. I just want to give a little word that yes, I will be bringing the love readings out on Rumble, so have a look there. Next month, I will be working on those and bringing those forth in such a way. There's a lot of energy clearing I have to do in my area at this moment. And in order to do that, you have to make physical changes. So these are things I will be working on. And then after that is cemented, I want to go in for these readings of love and whatnot. So take care, have fun, and be kind. Look for the readings on Rumble next month. And we will see you whenever I am guided to pull out these readings here on YouTube. And then in the meantime, look at Rumble. And then I will be back on YouTube to do the spirituality readings months later. So take care, have fun, and be kind. And we will talk to you soon.